switching focus to a joint statement, they're coming in after a bilateral meet that has taken place between the two leaders, Prime Ministers of India and Bangladesh.
4 documents will be exchanged. There will be a book release. A road will be dedicated to India-Bangladesh friendship, and 3 transport linkages projects connecting West Bengal and Bangladesh will be inaugurated. We begin with the exchange of 4 agreements. I may report that 22 agreements were signed on this visit. 4 are being exchanged this afternoon. The first is an MoU on bilateral judicial sector cooperation. This will be exchanged on the Bangladeshi side by His Excellency Mr. Anishul Haq MP, Minister of Law, Justice and Parliamentary Affairs, and on the Indian side by Srimati Sushma Swaraj, Minister of External Affairs. The second MoU is for extending a 3rd line of credit by the Government of India to the Government of Bangladesh, to be exchanged on the Bangladeshi side by Mr. Qazi Shafiqul Azam, Secretary Economic Relations Division, and on the Indian side by Dr. S. Jaishankar, Foreign Secretary. The 3rd MoU between India and Bangladesh will be on cooperation in the peaceful uses of outer space, to be exchanged by Dr. Shahjahan Mahmood, Chairman Bangladesh Telecommunication Regulatory Commission, and on the Indian side by Shri A.S. Kiran Kumar, Chairman ISRO and Secretary Department of Space. The 4th MoU is on passenger and cruise services on the coastal and protocol routes. This will be exchanged on the Bangladeshi side by Mr. Ashok Madhav Roy, Secretary, Ministry of Shipping, and on the Indian side by Shri Rajiv Kumar, Secretary, Ministry of Shipping. Thank you. May I now request the 2 Prime Ministers to step down. I now request the 2 Prime Ministers who haven't stepped down to jointly release the Hindi translation of the unfinished memoirs of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. I now invite the 2 Prime Ministers to jointly dedicate the Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujib Road to India-Bangladesh friendship by pressing the button for a remote inauguration. The visual can show you a live coverage of the road in the heart of New Delhi. May I now invite the Honorable Chief Minister of West Bengal, Mamata Banerjee, to join the 2 Prime Ministers for the inauguration of one, the Radhikapur-Birol rail link carrying a goodwill consignment of high-speed diesel from Numaligarh Refinery Limited. Second, a trial run for passenger trains between Khulna and Kolkata via Benapole and Petrapole. And thirdly, a bus service from Kolkata to Dhaka via Khulna. Excellency, these are live footage. Thank you, Excellencies. I now request my colleague, the spokesperson of the Ministry of External Affairs, to conduct the proceedings.
Thank you. I would like to request first the Prime Minister of India to make his statement.
Excellency, Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, members of the media, it is a true pleasure to welcome Her Excellency Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina to India. Excellency, your visit to India comes at an auspicious time just before the advent of Poila Boishakh. I take this opportunity to wish you and the people of Bangladesh Shubho Navavarsho. Your visit marks another Sonali Adhyay, golden era in the friendship between our people and our nations. The extraordinary transformation in our relationship and achievements in our partnership are a clear recognition of your strong and decisive leadership. Your decision to honor Indian soldiers who laid down their lives in the Liberation War of 1971 has deeply touched the people of India. Every Indian takes pride in the knowledge that Indian soldiers and Veer Mukti Jodha fought together to liberate Bangladesh from the reign of terror. Friends, today, Excellency Sheikh Hasina and I held productive and comprehensive discussions on the full range of our partnership. We agreed that the agenda of our cooperation has to remain focused on purposeful action. We specifically looked at charting new avenues and tapping fresh opportunities in advancing our relationship. We want to build cooperation in new areas, especially some high technology areas that have a deeper connect with the youth in both our societies. This would include working in the fields of electronics, information technology, cyber security, space exploration, civil nuclear energy, and other areas. Friends, India has always stood for the prosperity of Bangladesh and its people. We are a long-standing and trusted development partner of Bangladesh. India and Bangladesh are also determined that the fruits of our cooperation must benefit our people. In this context, I am happy to announce a new concessional line of credit of $4.5 billion for the implementation of projects in priority sectors of Bangladesh. This brings our resources allocation for Bangladesh to more than $8 billion over the past 6 years. Energy security is an important dimension of our development partnership. And our energy partnership continues to grow. Today, we added an additional 60 megawatt of power to the 600 megawatt of power already flowing from India to Bangladesh. The supply of another 500 megawatt has already been committed from the existing interconnection. We have also agreed to finance the diesel oil pipeline from Numaligarh to Parbatipur. Our companies are entering into a long-term agreement for the supply of high-speed diesel to Bangladesh. We have also agreed on a timetable for regular supply till the pipeline is constructed. We are encouraging private sectors in both our countries to enter this space. Several agreements for investments in the energy sector in Bangladesh are expected to be signed by the Indian companies in the coming days. India will continue to be a willing partner in meeting the energy needs of Bangladesh and its goal of achieving power for all by 2021. Friends, connectivity is crucial for the success of bilateral development partnership, sub-regional economic projects, and for the larger regional economic prosperity. Today, together with the Honorable Chief Minister of West Bengal, we have added several new links to our growing connectivity. Bus and train links between Kolkata and Khulna and Radhikapur-Birol have been restored today. Inland waterways routes are being optimized, and steps are being taken to put into operation the coastal shipping agreement. We are also happy to see the progress being made in two-way transshipment of goods. We look forward to early implementation of the BBIN motor vehicle agreement. This would usher in a new era of sub-regional integration. Friends, Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina and I recognize the need to diversify our commercial engagement, not just to forge wide-ranging business partnerships, between our two economies, but also for greater regional benefits. In this, a major part of the effort had to be from the business and industry of the two countries. We are happy to receive the high-powered business delegation accompanying the Prime Minister. Our agreement to open new border huts will empower border communities through trade and contribute to their livelihoods. Friends, Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina and I have noted the success of our capacity building and training initiatives. The training of 1,500 Bangladesh civil servants in India has almost concluded. We would undertake training along similar lines for 1,500 judicial officers of Bangladesh in our judicial academies. Friends, while our partnership brings prosperity to our people, it also works to protect them from forces of radicalization and extremism. Their spread poses a grave threat not just to India and Bangladesh, but to the entire region. We have the greatest admiration for Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's firm resolve in dealing with terrorism. Her government's zero-tolerance policy towards terrorism is an inspiration for all of us. We agreed that peace, security, and development for our people and for the region will remain central to our engagement. Today, we have also taken a long overdue step by signing an agreement on close cooperation between our armed forces. I am also happy to announce a line of credit of $500 million to support Bangladesh defense-related procurement. In implementing this line of credit, we will be guided by Bangladesh's needs and priorities. Friends, our two countries share one of the longest land boundaries. During my visit to Dhaka in June 2015, we have concluded the land boundary agreement. Its implementation is now underway. Along with our shared land boundaries are our shared rivers. They sustain our peoples and their livelihoods. And the one that has attracted the greatest attention is the Tista. This is important for India, for Bangladesh, and for India-Bangladesh relationship. I'm very happy that the Chief Minister of West Bengal is my honored guest today. I know that her feelings for Bangladesh are as warm as my own. I assure you and the people of Bangladesh of our commitment and continuing efforts. I firmly believe that it is only my government and Excellency Sheikh Hasina, your government, that can and will find an early solution to Tista water sharing. Friends, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman was a dear friend of India and a towering leader. As a mark of our respect and deep admiration for the father of Bangladesh, a prominent road in our capital city has been named after Bangabandhu. We have also agreed to jointly produce a film on the life and works of Bangabandhu, which will be released on his birth centenary year in 2020. Along with Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina ji, I am also honored to release the Hindi translation of Bangabandhu's unfinished memoirs His life struggle and contribution to the creation of Bangladesh will continue to inspire future generations. To mark the golden jubilee year of Bangladesh independence in 2021, we have agreed to jointly produce a documentary film on the liberation war of Bangladesh. Excellency, we have successfully carried forward the vision and legacy of Bangabandhu. Today, under your leadership, Bangladesh is marching on a trajectory of high growth and development. We in India rejoice in our ties with Bangladesh, ties that have been forged in blood and generations of kinship, ties that seek a better and secure future for our people. With these words, Excellency, I once again welcome you and your delegation to India. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
May I request the Prime Minister of Bangladesh for her statement, please? Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. His Excellency, the Prime Minister Narendra Modi and members of the media. It is indeed a great pleasure to be in New Delhi again. India is our most important neighbor and one of our key development partners. India made invaluable contribution in our war of liberation, for which we are deeply grateful. Today in the afternoon, we are happy to honor the martyrs of Indian armed forces who lost their lives for our war of liberation in 1971. We sought support of India in our efforts for recognition of genocide of 1971 by the international community. India has attained commendable development in the areas of economy, education, science, technology, and innovation. Bangladesh economy is also growing at an impressive rate of 7% GDP. We have also made significant advancement in most of the MDGs. We both reiterated our strong commitment to make our borders peaceful and free from criminal activities. We also pledged zero tolerance against terrorism and violent extremism. This morning, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and I had a productive meeting. We sat together to take our excellent bilateral relations to a new height. Prime Minister Modi and I agreed that greater connectivity is vital for the development of the region. We have also witnessed flagging of new passenger bus services for Khulna Kolkata route, Khulna Kolkata passenger train, and reopening of Birol Radhikapur rail route for freight. We jointly released a Hindi version of unfinished memoirs of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. I would also appreciate naming of a road in New Delhi after Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujib. I am really, Prime Minister, grateful to you and the External Affairs Minister, Sushma Swaraj. She chose the road. So thank you very much, and thanks to friends of all our Indian friends. Prime Minister Modi was receptive to the issue of growing trade deficit and assured of his government's concrete steps to address this. We have also discussed on the review of anti-dumping duties imposed on jute export from Bangladesh. We have discussed issues to promote trade and investments. We have discussed initiatives undertaken to further strengthen cooperation in the power and energy sector. We have also discussed cross-border electricity import from Nepal and Bhutan. We discussed the issues of water resources management, including sharing of water of common rivers, including Tista. the Padma Ganges Barrage Project and basin-wide management of common rivers. I sincerely believe that we shall be able to get India's support in resolving these issues expeditiously. Today, we have signed a number of other bilateral documents covering diverse areas of cooperation. This reflects our growing mutual confidence and shared commitment to expand our relationship. People-to-people contact is our strength. To encourage this, we have upgraded our Agartala Visa Office to Assistant High Commission and have also opened Assistant High Commission in Guwahati recently. Our vision for comprehensive and enduring relationship is outlined in the joint declaration. We now have to translate the declaration into concrete deliverables. Lastly, I would like to sincerely thank Prime Minister Modi for his dynamism and innovative ideas, which are not only taking India forward rapidly, but also add much value to our bilateral relations. Our Bangladesh Navabarsha, it is the 14th April. So, advance Shubha Navabarsha to you all. I thank friends from media present here for their time and patience, and I also thank all the members from both the country. I thank you all for your patience hearing. Our two countries, we started our journey. Definitely, it is not only our two countries. I believe that this region will be more, that this region, that means the South Asia, people of South Asia will be beneficiary because of our friendly relationship and cooperation. We always think about not only our two countries, also about the people of all this South Asian region. So our main aim is to develop the living condition of the people of this region. And I believe the regional cooperation of sub-regional cooperation is very, very important for development. And Prime Minister Modi, he has taken many steps in this area, so I thank him for taking all these dynamic steps. So thank you very much. Our relationship is really good. আমি একটু বাংলায় বলে দিতে চাই যে আমাদের পক্ষ থেকে আমি বাংলায় নববর্ষের শুভেচ্ছা জানাচ্ছি, মানে আগাম শুভেচ্ছা, আর সেই সাথে আমাদের দুই দেশের যে বন্ধুত্বপূর্ণ সম্পর্ক, যে সম্পর্ক আমাদের শুরু হয়েছিল 1971 সালে, এবং এই 71 সালে সেই মহান মুক্তিযুদ্ধের সময় ভারতের যারা জীবন দিয়েছেন এবং আমাদেরকে সহযোগিতা করেছেন, আমাদের 1 কোটির উপর শরণার্থীকে সাহায্য করেছেন, আমাদের মহান মুক্তিযুদ্ধে যে অবদান রেখেছেন, সেজন্য আমরা সবসময় ভারতবাসীর প্রতি কৃতজ্ঞ। আর সেজন্যই আমরা যারা যে সমস্ত শহীদ হয়েছেন যারা, তাদেরকে আজকে আমরা যে অনার করতে পারছি, তাদেরকে আমরা সম্মান দিতে পারছি, আমি মনে করি এটা তাদের না, এটা আমাদের বাংলাদেশের জন্যই সম্মান, যে আজকে আমরা স্বাধীন দেশ, এবং স্বাধীন দেশ হিসেবে আমরা দুই দেশের মধ্যে অত্যন্ত গাঢ় বন্ধুত্বপূর্ণ সম্পর্ক রয়েছে, যে সম্পর্ক ফলে এই দেশের মানুষ, দুই দেশেরই মানুষ উন্নত জীবন পাবে এবং আমরা দেশকে এগিয়ে নিয়ে যেতে পারবো। এবং প্রাইম মিনিস্টার মোদি প্রতিটি ক্ষেত্রে আমাদের যে সহযোগিতা করে যাচ্ছেন, আমাদের সেজন্য আমি বাংলাদেশের জনগণের পক্ষ থেকে, আমাদের সরকারের পক্ষ থেকে এবং আমি ব্যক্তিগতভাবে নিজে তাকে আন্তরিক ধন্যবাদ জানাই এবং ভারতবাসীর প্রতি কৃতজ্ঞতা জানাই। সবাইকে ধন্যবাদ। জয় বাংলা, জয় বঙ্গবন্ধু। ভারত বাংলাদেশ বন্ধুত্ব দীর্ঘজীবী হোক।
Thank you very much, Madam Prime Minister. Thank you, both the Prime Ministers. Ladies and gentlemen, this marks the conclusion of this interaction. Thank you all.
The highlights after the bilateral joint statement here that's come in of both the leaders. Prime Minister Modi's meeting there with the visiting Prime Minister of Bangladesh. In all of the 22 agreements that have come about from the 25 expected, that's a record count of 22 agreements signed, the highlights of which the benefits to both countries coming in on that understanding. We have with us our news editor Saurav Sanyal with those details. Saurav, take us through the highlights of this on what has been signed between the two nations here.
Well, that's right, Sahar. In fact, multiple takeaways there from this very, very crucial meeting that both the Prime Ministers had, Prime Minister Modi with his Bangladesh counterpart Sheikh Hasina. There were 22 MoUs or pacts which included, the aim was essentially to ensure that the ties between India and Bangladesh could be cemented further. That was top on the agenda. And clearly, Bangladesh Prime Minister today, she said that we couldn't be more thankful to India for the support that India had given during our liberation war. Essentially, she's referring to the 1971 liberation war of Bangladesh, and where Pakistan has been accused of perpetrating genocide. So Sheikh Hasina, standing side by side along with Prime Minister Modi today, sent out a very strong message to Pakistan and to the world at large that India and Bangladesh are together. And she squarely, even though Pakistan wasn't mentioned even once by name, but squarely when both the leaders were talking tough on terror, when both the leaders were talking, were referring back to 1971 war, when Sheikh Hasina personally said that India's contribution, for which we will remain ever grateful, the tangent clearly was directed towards Pakistan, because the crimes that Pakistan had committed on Bangladesh soil during the 1971 liberation war, after which Bangladesh was born. So that is something that for which Bangladesh is very, very indebted to India, and that Prime Minister Hasina clearly spelt out in black and white. So that is for the world to see now. In fact, Sahar, a very interesting takeaway from this is that later in the day, just about 2 hours from now, there's going to be a grand ceremony, a first ceremony of its kind, where families of those who laid down their lives fighting for the 1971 war, Indian soldiers, their families would be felicitated. And this is indeed yet another step in cementing Indo-Bangla ties on one hand, on the other hand, sending out a stern message to Pakistan that India and Bangladesh stand united.
Yes, more details of that we'll be getting our viewers through the day. For the moment, though, Saurav, thanks for those updates there. We'll leave it at that. It's a